Hello, I'm Roly. I'm a custodian of this beautiful but dark woodland in the heart of Derbyshire, and this is video blog 115. This night, I want to talk about something you'll hear bounced around in certain circles, and in other circles spoken about as though taking cacao is the next big high, the next thing to chase. That framing has never sat comfortable with me. Raw cacao comes from a place older than ceremony and older than fashion. It is not an invention of modern wellness culture, nor a trend borrowed and repackaged. It is a seed, a food, a tree gift that learned patience long before we learn speed. I should say this plainly. I've only used cacao once, and that was processed version. I'm not speaking as a devotee or an expert practitioner. I'm speaking as a custodian, someone who approaches these things carefully, without hurry and without the need to perform certainty. Even so, cacao deserves to be understood clearly. In its raw form, cacao is often spoken of as a medicine, and in a grounded, practical sense, it is. It carries magnesium that can help the nervous system soften, iron that supports the blood, natural components that gently lift mood and clarity, not in the way stimulants jolt or override the body, but in a way warmth spreads into cold hands, slowly, honestly, without force. It doesn't flood the senses, it doesn't shout, it listens first, and that distinction matters because it's also important to say what cacao is not. It is not a drug, it is not a shortcut to insight, it is not a guaranteed doorway to visions or altered states. In some circles, cacao has become burdened with expectation. Sometimes it is mixed with other substances. Sometimes it is framed as something that must do something dramatic to you. That has never been my path, and it isn't what draws my interest. I don't seek intensity for its own sake. I approach cacao in the same way I approach nettle or birch water, with restraint and disconcernment, with curiosity rather than need. I don't ask it to take me somewhere else. I ask whether it helps me stay. Because if a journey comes, it doesn't come from additives. It comes from attention. It comes from breath settling into the body, from rhythm entering the bones, from the quiet authority of drum, fire, and ground. I can journey without extra stimulants. The woodland has taught me that. So has winter. So has standing still long enough for the land to work on you, rather than the other way around. For me, cacao is not a vehicle. It is a companion, and even then, one I approach slowly. It may sharpen listening, it may deepen presence, it may help the heart remember the pace of the body instead of racing ahead of it. And that, if it happens, is enough. The old ways were never about excess, they were about relationship, about knowing when something supports you and knowing when to stop, about discernment rather than devotion, A sea does not demand belief, it asks for respect. So when I speak of cacao, I do so simply, without claims, without promises of transcendental, just as an acknowledgement of what it is and what it isn't, a plant, a possibility, not a requirement, and in that understanding, something important becomes clear. I am already capable of going where I need to go. I don't need to be pushed there. I don't need to be taken there. I only need to listen for the aircraft which flies above us for some God knows reason at midnight. Perhaps perceive this fire as a beacon for landing strip, or they're going to drop the drugs so the mules can pick them up. I may have watched too many films there. So thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you again.